Oh shit, I'm tripping. I'm fucking tripping. I didn't even send my guy the link, man. Give me 1 second, man. Fuck, I'm tripped out today, man. I got a bunch of shit going on. Fuck. 1 second, my guys. Gotta get my guy Keech in here, man. Fuck, I'm tripping. I'm doing the show. I'm so used to doing it myself. I just come on here like, let's start it up, man. But let me see my guy. Tripped out, bro. How y'all doing in the chat, my guys? How y'all doing in the chat, man? Hope everybody had a good day yesterday, man. Hope y'all family as well. Everybody in the chat, Nicola, Anton, Fredo, Morrow. My guy Morrow sent me some people been messaging me too. I gotta look at it. I have not been looking at my messages. Keech, what's up?
Yo,
My bad, man. I'm so used to doing the show by myself, bro. I kind of started. I'm like, hold on, something feel right here. I got my AirPods. I'm like, bro, something doesn't feel right. And I look at my guy Keith's supposed to be on the show. Tripping, bro. Obviously, I got a lot of shit going over here at the house, man. A ton of shit going on, man. But what's up with you, my brother? Everything cool with you?
Everything's good, man. Turning 34 tomorrow, which is kind of horrifying.
Shit. Damn,
yeah, so.
It's crazy because you look young too. You look like you could be turning 26, bro. You actually older than me. I'm 31. I turned 32 in August, bro. So, but happy early birthday, man. I hope we got to get some cash today, man. So you have a real good birthday, like starting tonight. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do for your birthday?
Oh, going to a nice steakhouse tonight. The worst part about this though is like for a decent chunk of this year, I thought I was 32. So
yeah,
I'm like basically aging 2 years or more, which is like not ideal.
How you forget your age, bro? Like
I feel like I'm always like 1 year off. Like when I say like I bet you when I turn 34, I'll be saying 33 for a little while, then I'll like slowly realize it. And then by the time I'm 35, I'll probably be still saying the wrong age. It's a mess.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Let's try to get some cash today, man, for my guy Keech, man. So the bookies can be paying for the steak dinner. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Desserts, all that. They tipping all that, man. Y'all tipping the waitress. It's gonna be on the bookies today, man. But what do you say? Let's get down to business, my brother. We got a little different slate today because one of these games is popping off early at 5:30 Eastern in this one. But let's get straight to it in this one, man. First game up. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana in this one. Pacers land 6 at the house versus the Bucks in this one. Keech, looks like there's no Giannis. We know that Giannis, he hadn't even been practicing. You see what I'm saying? So hasn't went through contact so far in practice. I would say take whoever you think is going to win this series. Obviously, if Giannis is not going to be out anytime soon, it's going to be really tough for the Bucks. Like they've really been their second game. They really got eaten up in the paint in that game. The Pacers, we know that they're going to run a faster pace at the house. It's going to be crazy in there tonight as well in Indiana. Like Indiana, just the state of Indiana absolutely loves their basketball. So that place is going to be sold out. It's going to be packed. And the Pacers usually feed off of it as well. I feel like the Bucks were messing around. Like the fact that you got smacked in game 2, like now you let the Pacers take back home court advantage. Obviously, if they win this game and then fuck around winning this game, like this series could be over for the Bucks here. So I think it's as simple. And obviously, we've seen game 3 as well be a really pivotal type of game in the series. I would say take whoever you feel like is going to win the series in this particular game. If you like the Pacers to win this series, then you got to lay the points with them tonight. You're thinking that they're going to win this game by double digits. If you like the Bucks, then obviously you could take the +6 with them. They don't even have to win the game outright. You could just take the points here. So I'm kind of on the fence with this game. Didn't like what I saw with the Bucks in the last game. Pacers brought the intensity to them, and the Bucks didn't like it, man. Lopez looking old. I think they need to make some lineup switches there, man. Put somebody else on Siakam. Keith, Siakam's been going absolutely crazy. Do you think he can keep that going tonight?
I would think that they make some sort of an effort to slow him down a little bit, especially after the last game, which I think could set up well for Tyrese Halliburton. My favorite play in this game by far, if you follow me on Action for any period of time, this probably won't surprise you. The only book that offers this is ESPN, but if you go to the game prop section there, they have like team assists, team rebounds, team three-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks 3-point prop is at 14.5. The Pacers allowed fewer than 11 per game during the regular season. Bucks stayed under 14.5 threes the first 2 games despite shooting pretty well. Now they're going on the road. So 14.5, I still think is too high. So if you have ESPN, go to that game props tab, find the team 3-pointers, bet the Bucks 3-point under. The other thing I think is interesting is you had mentioned that the Pacers were kind of a little bit better, like on the glass. They actually went away from a backup center, so they didn't play Jalen Smith, didn't play Isaiah Jackson. They played basically Obi Toppin at the 5. In the first, or excuse me, in game 1, Jalen Smith had like 10 or 11 rebound chances in like 18 minutes. I think it might have been fewer minutes than that, but a lot of rebound chances for not a lot of court time. We saw Obi Toppin pretty much pick that up in the last game. Him and Siakam, just at least from like a per minute basis, just like a lot of rebound chances. Obi Toppin over 4.5 rebounds at plus money, I do think is interesting. I think you could potentially ladder that. And if by some chance this game's not competitive, I think there's a world in which he gets a double-double. If you manually build that out, pretty big plus money.
Damn. You're talking about Obi Toppin double-double, right?
Yeah.
That would be crazy, boy.
Yeah. Partially because, I mean, we never really saw the Pacers during the regular season not play, when Turner's not out there, they almost always had either Jalen Smith or Isaiah Jackson out there. They're both really good rebounders. So not having them, it obviously trickles down a good bit. So I think we obviously haven't seen Toppin, especially in 20 minutes or less, be in that double-double range. But I do think with neither of those centers on the floor, if he's able to shoot the ball well, there is definitely a path to that, especially at the price that we'll get it at. The only other play in this game I do have, which I've already logged, is Pascal Siakam under 10.5 rebounds. Just a big number. I mean, the way that they defend is making me a little bit nervous. He's kind of had a pretty easy path to rebound so far. But just the number, I think, is a little bit too high. So playing that under 10.5.
Got you. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. That. Obviously, he's supposed to be due for some regression, but like the Bucks are really missing my guy out there, man. I mean, they're really missing Giannis out there because that would be his main matchup to be going up against Siakam there. So Siakam has went crazy on these guys. Obviously, they're going back with Bobby Portis. Now, Bobby Portis is the type of guy that like, all right, you want to talk some shit? I got something for you. You know what I'm saying, Keech? What do you think about Portis possibly going over his points tonight? I believe it says 17.5. Bobby Portis, like bug eye Portis out there. Some tell me he'll be like, all right, I got something for y'all, man, because he haven't had a really great game either of the first couple games. Do you think this could be? He's the type of guy that likes to go on the road and like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. What do you think about Bobby Portis possibly going crazy tonight?
I think he's playing enough, certainly. I think we kind of got a little bit I saw a lot of people on that points prop for him. Kind of got a little bit unlucky in that last game, I think. That the volume was there, just kind of didn't knock him down. The big thing, I think, is the fact that Middleton is questionable. I would be kind of surprised if he were to sit. But
Middleton's playing.
Yeah.
Middleton's playing.
I agree. Still, I think has the Q tag. But yeah, if by some miracle he were to sit, obviously that helps Bobby out. But yeah, I think the Indiana is like kind of a perfect defense for him to attack. He can shoot the 3 a little bit, which is something Indiana takes away. But in terms of like him scoring within 10 feet, this is about as good of a spot as he can get. So yeah, I'm fine with any of the Portis overs again. I think if you played that last game and you lost, you got a little bit unlucky with just the efficiency. But assuming that picks back up, I do like him here spot.
Yeah, I see a bounce back spot for Portis. And reason why I say that Chris Middleton's playing because he says like he's good. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why that he's questionable on the injury report, but like if you're waiting on Middleton to get ruled in, if you're like put it like this. Maybe the Bobby Portis points could go down when Middleton holding you back to say, oh, I want to see if Middleton's playing. He says he's going to play for sure. Like, this is the playoff. If this was regular season, he'd probably sit out. But that's what I like about the playoffs so much. Guys are going to actually tough it out. You see what I'm saying? But if this was that's how soft they are. If this was a regular season, I'm going to go and sit this one out. Oh, I can still get my game check for this one. All right, yeah. Well, I can sit out then. I'm going to wear street clothes. I'm going to put my chains and rings on. And, I'm just going to clap from y'all from the bench. But this is playoff, so I got to play now. You see what I'm saying? We got to play. But Middleton's playing in this game. But I still feel like Bobby Portis is going he's like, all right, y'all want to talk some shit? All right, come on. Let's go. I think Portis comes to play tonight, my guys. But obviously you need Dame and the rest of the guys to come come to play if you like the Bucks in this one. Really tough game. Like I say, I would say you take whoever in this game who you think is going to win the series. It's really that simple, in my opinion. You like the Pacers to win the series, you lay the 6 with them. If you think the Bucks still have a chance in this series, you take the 6 with them. This is a very pivotal game 3 over here in Indiana in this one, my guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Dallas in this one. Mavs laying 4.5 points at the house versus the Clippers in this one, Keech. We know the Clippers came out there, absolutely smoked them in the first game. Then the Mavs come out there, get a big win. Kawhi comes back, looks nothing like himself. He hadn't even been practicing, Keech. And that's one thing. Like, we should have been hammering Kawhi Leonard's under points in that game, man. I'm talking about my guy was rusty as hell when he took that first 3 and he damn near, like, you know, where the ball kind of squibs into between the backboard and the rim. He had one of them type of shot. It didn't squib, but it was like, that's how off it was, where it hit the rim and backboard. I was just like, bro, his rhythm is all the way off. Still look like he was kind of limping out there. That's something to note for future, for people that watch, you know what I'm saying, watch the show and watch the breakdowns. When these guys are coming back from injury and they're coming back from like a month off, you want to take their unders early. The first game back, you want to take their unders there, Keith. Just what do you think about that, just in general, fading guys when they come back from injury?
Yeah, I mean, my dumbass played the Harden under PRA instead, thinking that like Kawhi would kind of eat into him. That obviously that didn't really happen. Like, I think Harden was the only one to go over his PRA prop in that last game. But yeah, it's like if this was a regular season, we wouldn't be seeing Kawhi right now. That seems pretty obvious. So he's still dealing with something. I would be very hesitant to play any of his overs at this point. I still do think, like, you know, it's possible that we see him tonight, like, look kind of normal. The thing, like, if we saw from, like, watching Joel Embiid in the first couple of games, he looked like he could not move. And then watching him last night, it's like he looks great. Like, he looked quick in certain spots. Like, maybe we see kind of a similar kind of turnaround from Kawhi. Kawhi didn't look that bad in that last game. So that just in general, like, makes this a weird spot for me. Like, this is the game I think by far I have the least interest in from a props perspective, just because, like, yeah, it's a weird one. We got THJ out on the Dallas side, which kind of makes things a little bit weird. Probably just more Kyrie, more Luka. It's just this is just a weird game for me right now, especially in Kawhi's health makes that tough, I think.
That's a fact. It's a weird series for me, man, because we know that, like, these two teams are really even, in my opinion, man. People can say whatever they want. Like, it's really hard to say. Like, Mavs laying 4.5 here is kind of crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, the Clippers, like, these are two really even teams, even with the Kawhi not being 100%. The Clippers, you could argue, have a little bit of a better bench. Like, when you got guys like Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, Norman Powell coming off the bench, like, they have the better bench. Luka basically has to go absolute crazy for the Mavs to have a chance. Even in that last game, it was still came down to the wire. You see what I'm saying? So now the Mavs, and we've seen some of these teams as well, where the road team will go out there and steal game 2, and then when they come back to the house, like the other road team, now they're due to make some adjustments. And they know that they have to steal a game on the road as well. So you just don't know if it's game 3 or game 4. But we've seen some of these series be like a real zigzag. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little bit surprised with the Mavs getting laying 4.5 here, but obviously they were the favorites to win the series before the series even started. This is probably one of the hardest series in my opinion, because either one of these teams come out of here, like, it's, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be a dogfight. This shit's going 7 games. I don't know if you can still bet that, like, the games to go over 6.5, but I would bet that this series goes 7 games, man. I don't see either one of these teams getting it done in 7, so I would keep that in mind as far as game to game. But yeah, I would make a play on the series for it to go over 6.5 games. I might have to check that out, like, right now, to be perfectly honest with you. Series to go over 6.5 games. I think that's a good play here. And even if the 5.5 is like at -180, or as long as it's less than -200, I think over 5.5 would be a really good look here, Keech. But are there any other props that you'd be looking here? Do you think Luka? Do you think Kyrie has a bust out game one of these games? And also at these home games, the role players play a lot better at the house, guys. It's something to note. Like, role players are in the playoffs on the road, they like disappear. But when they come back to the house, I think it's something really important to target some bench guys that just are a lot more comfortable in their home arena. Keech, are there any bench guys that you think might come to play here for the Mavs?
No, I mean, their bench is just, it's thin right now, especially with Tim Hardaway not there. It's like, I mean, the options are just like a lot of guys that don't produce stats. Like, Luka and Kyrie are going to dominate the usage here. One of them is going to be on the floor at all times. So really just nobody yeah, nobody on the Dallas side, and this game in general, like I said earlier, is a really tough one for me. Props. I have no action on it at this point.
I feel like Lively might come out there and have a little bit better game. I think Lively might have a little bit better game. So even though he's only playing 20 minutes, the fact that he can get 9 rebounds in 20 minutes off the bench there, Keech, I feel like at the house he's gonna do even better. I was trying to see what the series price. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to look at that later, man. But keep an eye on that on the series to go over 5.5, 6.5 games in this one. If somebody has it in the chat, has that info in the chat, my guys, let me know what y'all think. My guy said, "Oh, PJ over PNR." I don't know about that one, but I would target some bench guys for the Mavs to have a little bit better game. Whether you're looking at Maxi Kleber over his threes, Derek Lively possibly double over his rebounds, maybe even Exum or Josh Green will have a little bit better game. But try to target some of these bench guys when they're coming back to the house. They're a lot more comfortable, and you might see the bench actually show up for the Mavs today, man. But as far as the side, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised whichever happened. I would lean towards taking the points here, but it's just this is a game that I don't really have a super strong look for, in my opinion here, Keith. So you didn't like anything in this game? You want to talk? You want to get to the next one?
Yeah, I think the only other thing, like obviously Daniel Gafford's status has a little bit to do. Could see more Lively if he were to sit. Looks like he went through the shoot around. I would imagine if it was a regular season game, he probably wouldn't be playing. But yeah, his status has a pretty big impact on Lively and Cleaver, so worth keeping an eye on that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. My guy in the chat, Dirty Jerry says he likes Powell over 8.5. He thinks that seems low for sure. Let's go over here. Last game, let's go over to the streets of Phoenix in this one. Suns land 4.5 points at the house versus the Wolves. I'm on the Suns here. I can't tell anyone to take them. It's hard to trust this team. Obviously, they're down 0-2. This is the absolute desperation spot. I just want to make it clear that I'm on the Suns, but I'm not telling anyone to take the Suns. You see what I'm saying? You do whatever you guys want to do with your money. I know that like the Wolves have basically owned this series. I'll tell you straight up, Naz Reid, Carlton Towns, and Gobert has been too much size for the Suns. I'll tell you straight up. So I will put a little something on the Suns here. This is an absolute desperation spot, and I'll take this regardless. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happens, I'll feel like it was the right side. But I just want to make it clear that I'm not making anyone take the Suns. This team has caused a ton of heartache all year. They could possibly even get, if they don't win this game, they're possibly going to get swept. I don't see it. I'm rocking with the Suns in a desperation spot here, Keech. What do you think in this one? Do you think that any guys, role players for the Suns, have a good game? Let me look at this. I want to target some guys for the Suns coming off the bench today. What you think, Keech? What do you like in this game?
Listen, I just hope the Suns grow some balls. This is even they kind of laid down at that end of that last game too. It's just ugly. Grayson Allen still questionable. His status is I think has a big impact. Obviously, on Royce O'Neal, I assume would start. He came in Brown pretty early in that last game when he left. More Eric Gordon. Really can't trust either of those guys in terms of volume. Obviously, Gordon more likely to get his shot off than Royce O'Neal. I think Royce O'Neal in his 17 minutes did not even attempt a shot.
Right. Yeah, I see that
in the last game. So just not a lot of options in terms of Suns bench guys. The one thing with the Suns I was kind of looking at is we saw like Nurkic in I think the first game with Minnesota and in the last regular season game, like his rebound numbers were down. He had 25 rebound chances in the last game, turned into 14 rebounds. I was kind of thinking about maybe potentially running his rebound under back. A little bit scary there. The one thing I do like a lot, you alluded to the Suns role players likely being in a better spot. I think inversely, the Wolves role players may be in a worse spot. Yep. Jaden McDaniels had a huge game in game 2. One of the few plays I've logged so far is Jaden McDaniels under 11.5 points. I think the under points and rebounds for him too is also okay, although his rebound numbers have been kind of surprisingly high first 2 games, and same with the rebound chances. But I do think McDaniel's shot attempts and just opportunity comes way down from the last game, even if they kind of make some sort of an effort to try to make him beat them, the Suns that is. I do think that 11.5 is a little bit too high for him. I think we see kind of Edwards more cat. He's been kind of not really a thing in the series. Hasn't been playing much. I think we'll see a little bit more of him. Kind of curious if Kyle Anderson's healthy enough to play. He was active, did not actually find the floor in the last game, so we saw more Naw. think he played like almost 30 minutes or maybe more than that. So I think Anderson is technically questionable. Keep an eye on that too. But the tough thing is that they could roll him in and he still might not play. So you don't really know what's going to happen there. But I do think that's an impact worth considering, especially if you're betting any role players on those Bulls.
Yep, no, that's a fact. Yeah, this is a tough series, man. I see Nurkic double at plus 135. Keech, what do you think? Can he get there tonight?
I would not play that personally. I don't think. I'd be curious to actually run
I think they got no chance. I think they have no chance at winning if Nurkic doesn't go for a double tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
they have zero chance.
They're going to use him. It seems like they combine the full 48 with him and Eubanks in the last game, which kind of surprised me. I didn't really think they would play like 48 minutes of those two, especially with Nas being the backup there. I thought they might go smaller, not use as much Eubanks. So they like having the traditional center out there, and I think, well, at least they did in the last game. And I would imagine they obviously prefer Nurkic while they can keep him out there. So there is definitely a pretty big minutes ceiling here, but with him, the minutes floor is also not like terribly high. So I think the range of outcomes with him is pretty wide. I think I'd rather play like an alt rebounding over rather than a double-double thing. I think you could maybe get his alt rebounds at a better price than you could get the double-double at. And he's obviously going to be tangling with Gobert, who's not the easiest guy to score out at the rim. So I think if you want to play Nurkic, I'd look at the alt rebounds or I want to play the rebound under, but the 25 rebound chances in the last game makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, I don't know if he'll go for 14 rebounds, but I definitely think he can get to that 10 rebounds. And then if he doesn't get to the 10 points as well, it's going to be tough to them. But yeah, I'm taking the Suns here. Like I said, yeah, I always tell people, take exactly whatever you love, and it's time to get out of here as well, man. I do have do another show as well, but I'm a real proponent of telling people, like, you can bet whatever you love. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody here that's definitely like putting a gun to your head saying that you have to take this, or there's no guarantee locks, any of that. You see what I'm saying? So we always try to say, like, you got to have your thoughts on the game as well. No matter you're watching shows, following people picks on Action Network, you have to have your somewhat thoughts on the game as well. Because somebody might be saying something like, you know what, I don't really agree with that. You see what I'm saying? And that's not something that you want to put your money on, because if you do happen to lose, you're like, man, I knew it, because this has happened to me plenty of times. Man, I knew I should have went with my gut. You see what I'm saying? So I always tell people, bet whatever you're good. I'm taking the Suns today, down 0-2, absolute desperation spot. They might even get like a little bit of help as well. It's just me, but I'm taking the Suns in this particular game. This is my top spot of the day. Personally here, you guys can do whatever you want, Keech. I would lean towards, I think that they don't have the points props out yet for Royce O'Neal or for Eric Gordon, but those two guys have to come up big off of the bench, man, especially if Grayson Allen doesn't play. And that's why they don't have the props up as well, because they know if one of them guys start, that prop is going to change by like 6 points. But Royce O'Neal, they got to play him more. They got to play guys like a Kogi more as well. But Royce O'Neal's got to have a lot better game. He's going to have to be a main 3-and-D guy for the Suns. Expect most of these role players that's been on the road the first couple games, now they're coming back to the house. This is where they're a lot more comfortable. They got the home crowd behind them. Expect the bench guys and the role guys for these home teams, specifically when they're down 0-2 as well, to play a lot better at the house. That's what I would be targeting. Keech, what do you like today, my brother?
So by far my favorite play is that Bucks under 14.5 threes. If somebody on ESPN, if somebody else knows where the team props are offered besides ESPN, please contact me. I would really appreciate that. Jaden McDaniels under 11.5 points is another one. I'm not sure if that's still out there. I think it might be down to 10.5 now. But yeah, those are the two best ones. And keep an eye on the Action Network app. I have a pretty good feeling I'll be adding some stuff as the day goes on.
I like it. No, those are two good looks. I just want to let you know, Keech, that Bally Bet is almost like it's almost like I don't know if they're like a sister company, because like up here, like in Denver, I'm at, they have an ESPN bet and then they have a Bally Bet, and they always have the exact same lines. So I think that they use like the same, whatever they're doing, like the same system. It's the exact, because I'll walk right across the street to that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? I go place a bet at one of them and go hit the boys up at the other spot. I think they have the exact same line. So if you do have Bally Bet where you're at, they should have the exact same thing as ESPN Bet, like down to the nitty gritty. It should be the exact same line. So that's something, you know what I'm saying? That's something I would look at, Keech, there for sure, man. Just something I figured out. But do you have Bally Bet?
It's legal in TN. They haven't launched yet. I was honestly looking it up the other day to see like what's going on with it. Just no update yet. So it's legal. They've been approved. They just haven't launched. So when that happens, I'll be very excited.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So I just let you know that Ballybet and ESPN have pretty much the same thing, but I'm sure you could. I'm sure you might be able to find it somewhere else. Maybe FanDuel, DraftKings. I'm pretty sure somebody out there can find that. Fanatics. He likes Bucks to go under their threes tonight. And me personally, personal play. I'm on the Suns tonight. Absolute desperation mode. Could they get swept? It's very possible. Nothing's guaranteed. I'll never come on here and tell you that something's an absolute lock or that you should take this. Go put your rent on this. You know what I'm saying? I know it's, and then you got to watch out, Keech, as well. On Fridays, people like to go cash their check and go. I've been there before as well, man. People like to go cash their check and like, oh, okay, my guy giving out a lock. Let me go put my whole check on this. I'm telling you, don't do it, man. Bet, always bet responsibly. That's something I got to add towards the end of the show. Every single show, bet responsibly. Never bet more than you can afford to lose, my guys. Always make sure you're living. I was watching Friday last night. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. Yeah, man.
Bankroll management, man. That's what it's all about.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. It's all love. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Hope y'all guys get some cash today. Best of luck with whatever you're betting. Please don't bet your whole check. Please have some, save some for the wifey, for the kids, man. Go buy the kids something before you blow their whole check, man. But it's all love. Let's take the bookies to Smack City one time for the one time. Let's cash one time for the one time. We'll be back with my guy LJ tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's all love. Let's go, my guys. Let's get some cash, baby. We out. Let's go.